Hi there. Well, I've got a cracking engine to share with you today. This is an AMCO 3.5cc engine. It's an English made engine and it was first released in 1949. So we're possibly talking about a 75-year-old English diesel engine, still in the original box, still with some of the tools and parts that were issued when it first came out. So anyway, let's take a closer look. Now when you get an engine like this from the 40s or the 50s and it's still in its original box, that is something really special. I just think it's absolutely lovely. And this box, considering the age, is in great condition. And we can see here we've got the name and distributor, and if we come around to the other end, we've actually got the company, designed and manufactured by AMCO Motors Limited, Chester, England. Really good. I'm so impressed with this box, but what is inside it? So the power behind the prop, AMCO 3.5cc. Right, well, gosh, we've got the engine, which is in lovely condition, and we can see here it's got a serial number 407. I don't know how many of these that they made, but this is it's, to me, that's quite a low number, so this could be quite an early engine. Now if I turn this over, we can see AMCO embossed on the crankcase there, and same on that side. Now I love the shape of the cylinder head on this. It's just a really nice shape. Almost looks like a, well, I don't know, it's it almost looks like a bit like a beehive or something like that. It's really nice. Now these AMCO engines appear, from what I've learned with the contents of the box, came with two different options on the front. We had this long prop driver here, or you could unscrew the shaft. You could put a smaller prop driver on and a smaller shaft. Is that a smaller shaft? Oh no, the smaller shaft was already in there, so let's just screw that back in. But it's useful for you to see how that came off. So we've got the smaller shaft or the longer shaft, and to be honest, it's quite nice to be able to just vary the distance the prop is from the engine, from the needle valve, and hence from your fingers, I guess. Now what else have we got in the box? Let's just put that there, and we'll put the let's put that back on. I like it with the long prop driver, to be honest. And we'll put the washer on. Oh no, let's leave that off. Right, now we've also got what I think is probably an original AMCO spinner. We've got a back plate, and that slots on there like that. We've then got a sort of a bracket that goes inside. So let's see how this works. So I'm guessing that will go on like that. We have the bracket that goes like that. We've then got the spinner that goes over the prop, and then we've got a nut here that actually screws right on the end of that thread. If I can get it on, hang on a minute, we can do this. There we go. Now I probably need the longer bolt to set all this up, but that's how it seems to work. I tell you what, let me stop the camera and I'll see if I can get this together, and we'll have a look at it in one. Okay, well there we go, we've got this together and that looks absolutely lovely. It's just really nice, and I'm assuming this is an original AMCO product, and the reason that makes me think that is because if we look on the box, we can see the threaded bolt that goes into the end of the crankshaft, and we can see that it's actually reduced the same as it is here on this and the same as on that, and that is clearly threaded like that, I would have thought anyway, so that the spinner will fit on it in the way that I've just put it on. Now I haven't put a prop on this because the prop I'm probably going to be running it on is this 9x6, and yet it won't fit in here without me cutting this out and modifying it. I think a lot of the older props were a lot smaller, a lot thinner, less substantial, and I really don't want to start cutting this out because, as I say, it's a 1949 original spinner, I believe. So that is just lovely. Now we've got, what else have we got in the box? We've got the needle valve, which is good, the original needle valve. Let me just screw that in and just rest that on the needle valve. And there is one other thing, which is a tool, and it's an AMCO tool. We can see it's got AMCO written on it. Hopefully, if I just bring that in, we can see that. Now, it's taken me quite a long time to work out how this tool works, and I think we have a bit on the back that slots in to take off the back plate. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to disturb this engine. We've got this tool on the end here. We've just got the spikes that stick down that go into the holes on the head. I think we'd have to screw the compression screw out to get that in. Again, I don't want to use this because the chances are it will slip and scratch the head, and it will be such a shame. It's also worth noting that on the head, if I just bring that in and hold it still enough, you can see there's numbers around there, so you can remember and make a note of where the compression settings are. And you can see the holes where this spanner would fit in. Now there's one other tool here on the end, which it took me ages to work out how it worked because it doesn't fit in or anything like this, and the only way that I can see it working is actually fitting in the cylinder. And I'll do this very gently because I'm kind of nervous I'll do some damage, but it just fits in like that, and I think that is how it works. And you would put pressure on it to perhaps unscrew this central cylinder. This top anodized head screws off, but the cylinder that's left I think probably unscrews as well, but I'm not going to use that, and I'm just inserting this very, very gently because I don't know if that's correct and I don't want to do any damage. If you know how this spanner works and if that is the correct method, then please leave me a comment and let me know. Not that I'm going to use it because like I say, I'm not sure whether it could sort of damage the liner a little bit, or just yeah, I don't know. It's not something I'll be using. So anyway, what a gorgeous engine in the original AMCO box there. Well, I've now got this 9x6 prop on it, which is what I'm going to run it on, and it's got huge compression, this engine. It just feels absolutely lovely. Listen to this. And the bearings are just lovely and smooth. I'm assuming and fairly sure that this is plain bearing and not a ball bearing, but it is just lovely and smooth. So, as I always say, there's just one thing left to do. Let's get this in the test stand and see how it runs. Well, I've got this lovely AMCO 3.5cc clamped in the test stand, and I'm dead excited to see how it runs. I've got a 9x6 prop on it, and I'm going to be running it hopefully on this Model Technics D2000 diesel fuel. As you can see behind, it's a really windy day here, so what better than to get out and run an engine? If you can't fly, let's run an engine. Anyway, let's see how this thing goes. Right, suck the fuel through into the engine, and we'll put a little squirt in the cylinder just to give it a bit of encouragement. Helps if I open the valve. There we go. And let's see how this thing. Oh, maybe a little bit too much fuel in it. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, it's wanting to go. Yeah, I've flooded it. Whoa, what a lovely engine, gosh. Well, I can hear my ears ringing. What a lovely engine. That is a real screamer. That is absolutely lovely. It ran really nice and steady. You probably noticed the needle valve, I think, wants tightening up, although it feels quite stiff, but it was tuning itself a little bit at one point with it just rotating slightly. But wow, that ran absolutely lovely. The contra piston is stuck just a little bit, but at the point where you can push it down and then it'll come back up to a point, and at that point seems to be the sweet spot for it running, because if it moves just a little bit back, then it does start to miss and so you need to just give a little tweak on that piston, contra piston. So I think it is sticking, but it's sticking at a sweet running spot. I think if I was going to run this in a model, I would want to free that off a little bit. But wow, what a lovely engine. And like I say, my ears are still ringing. So yeah, what a lovely engine. I know I've said that a few times, but it was just really nice to get this running. I mean, it's got great compression. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this engine run. And for, what is it? It's a 60, 70-year-old engine. It runs as sweet as a nut. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching.